Shawn, obviously the reason why when we called you down here today is because Catherine's missing and we don't know where she's at. My feeling on this whole thing, Shawn, is that you didn't want to have this responsibility with Catherine. Where is Catherine? Where is Catherine at, Shawn?
You are currently watching the world's worst father, 21-year-old Shawn Michael Phillips, because at this very moment, his daughter Catherine is missing, a daughter that Shawn had been growing tired of.
Outwardly, you're showing me that you don't have very much compassion for Catherine because you don't want to be bound up with this.
The next time anyone would see Catherine would be in the middle of this swamp, abandoned, killed, and left to disappear. And what follows will be a relentless hunt to figure out how and why.
You took her somewhere because you were pissed. Do you think that this community is going to put up with us? It's not. This is not looking good for you, Shawn. You know what? Piss on you. I'm out of here.
Ariel Cortland was 19 years old, a young mother of 2 little girls living in the lakeside town of Ludington, Michigan. Just 4.5 months ago, she had given birth to her youngest daughter, baby Kate, and was planning to give her a full life of the joy, love, and adoration she deserved. But on June 29, 2011 at 1:14 in the afternoon, Ariel made a phone call that would have those dreams come crashing down.
911, where's your emergency?
The father of my child took our daughter, and I don't know where he's at with her. She's my daughter. He has no legal rights over her.
Okay, Ariel, we'll send somebody over so you can file a report, okay?
The father in question was 21-year-old Shawn Phillips, a Michigan National Guardsman and an infantryman slated to deploy to Afghanistan within weeks. And the way he met and lived with Ariel was nothing short of a mess. Shawn was only 18 and Ariel 15 when the two met and had their first daughter, Haley. At that age, becoming responsible parents proved to be a difficult task, as their relationship was brief, on and off, and hostile. And by the time Ariel was pregnant a second time, with Kate, Shawn wanted nothing to do with it. According to Ariel, he told her another mouth to take care of would mess up their lives, going as far as denying Kate was even his in front of everyone around him. Within hours of Ariel's call, an Amber Alert went out as volunteers papered the town with flyers, and police searched for Kate on foot and by air. But the first person they needed to find was Shawn. That same afternoon, they located him at his parents' home in rural Victory Township without Kate. He was quickly taken to the Mason County Sheriff's Office and sat down across Detective Tom Postma. With Kate still out there somewhere, it's crucial they get answers out of him, both as to where she is and why he seemed to want nothing to do with his own daughter.
My name is Detective Sergeant Posma, and I'm with the Mason County Sheriff's Office, okay? How you doing? You good with your water?
Yes, I'm
Need
fine.
anything? You smoke?
No thanks.
You don't smoke?
I don't.
Okay. Chew?
Yes.
You do chew? You want to chew?
Mm.
You got a little bit left.
Sure I am.
You want one? Go ahead, finish my can up, buddy. Spat right in that freaking. We'll share the spatter. How's that?
Thank you.
All right. Okay. How you feeling? Good? You all right?
I don't really know how to
Nervous?
I suppose.
Nervous?
I really don't know.
Okay. All right. I just need to get some general information from you, Shawn. Shawn, are you employed any place right now?
Been laid off for quite a while. I'm seeking work, but
Okay.
in Army National Guard.
Okay, so you're in the Army National Guard. All right. And how long you been with the National Guard?
Close to 4 years.
Okay, 4 years. Did you do any active time?
I'm supposed to deploy in August.
Okay. All right. You were never active Army, you've always been National Guard?
Yes, always National Guard.
Okay. Have you ever been deployed before?
No.
You've never been deployed?
No. Actually got in like 2 months after my unit deployed, so just barely missed it.
Okay. But you're planning on deployment, right?
Yes,
Your unit's planning on deploying?
they've changed it 3 times now.
Okay,
So,
which do you know a date on your deployment?
no,
You don't know a good date?
August 9th, I think, is when we're gonna start doing a lot of training and basically not be around anymore, but we'll be back a few times, like for.
Before you go and stuff? Okay. And what do you do in the National Guard?
Infantry,
Infantry? And what guard unit are you out of?
125.
Okay.
I was planning on active until
Yeah.
I had my daughter, so.
Yeah. Well, that makes it tough. I mean, military life is not an easy thing for a family. Is there some question that you might be a father to another child?
The one in question here, yes.
Yeah, and what's her name?
Catherine.
Catherine?
Yes.
Is it spelled Kathrine?
That's, yes.
That's how you're spelling it?
I believe that's how it was spelled.
Okay. And does she carry your last name?
She gave her my last name, yes.
So she's Phillips.
Yes.
Okay. Why don't you explain to me how I mean, it sounds, just to talk with you just shortly, you're not sure if this is your kid, right? And
It was,
can you just explain that to me a little bit? What's the situation there?
we dated briefly years ago,
Okay,
and she intentionally got pregnant.
okay. And that's,
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it was very brief, relationship with us,
okay,
and where's it going with that? Well, it's been hell for all these years. She's lived with me since she was 1, and was aware of the state removed from her mother for a long time. And
okay.
just her mother's, it's always seemed like one of those people you see on the Maury or Dr. Phil show where 15-year-old.
Now you're talking about Ariel's mom?
Ariel.
Or just Ariel herself?
Or they think that having babies are cute and they just want to have a baby, but then they realize it's more
a lot of
than
work.
that. So she's always lived with me, but she's
Okay.
never really seemed concerned with being a part of it. It's just trying to emotionally, mentally abuse me.
Calling Shawn and Ariel's relationship volatile would be underselling it. These two practically lived at the county courthouse. By Shawn's own count, they were in front of the friend of the court almost every single month. Then there's also the claim you just heard that Ariel intentionally got pregnant. Ariel was 15 years old the first time she got pregnant. Shawn was almost 18. And as for Kate, Shawn's version is that he was blackout drunk at a disc golf party, remembers nothing, and that there were 5 other possible fathers floating around town. On the day of Kate's disappearance, Shawn was actually on his way to get a DNA swab done to prove that once and for all.
Been living with you and your mom and dad in,
The custody arrangement just recently changed.
okay,
It's still an ongoing legal battle, really.
okay, all right. Can you explain that to me a little bit? What's going on? Where's the status of that?
I don't know. It ended because the front of the court was hassling me. We've always been going through the front of the court for all the years,
Okay,
in there almost every month.
okay,
And she got a job, supposedly, got this,
okay,
and just took me to court. And this Jack Bolger just handed her joint physical custody.
okay,
But it wasn't an evidential hearing, so I couldn't actually stack up paperwork and history of her interactions and everything. I couldn't use that.
okay. All right, so you've met with, or in front of Jack Bulger several times, then I take it?
Yes.
Okay. And currently the custody is with you,
It's joint physical custody now.
joint physical between you and Ariel?
Yes, that changed about, I want to say 4 months ago, 3
4
months
months
ago,
ago.
but just like before, she doesn't really exercise her parenting time.
Okay.
Well, she will on occasion, but sometimes she'll go months without.
How is the arrangement? Is it more with you and then she gets a weekend, or how does that arrangement work?
On the court order, it is 1 week with each of us,
Okay.
and then the Wednesday night of
Is it-
every week, you're supposed to have her overnight,
Okay.
the other party.
All right. So
Well,
it's,
we are mostly going off a verbal agreement of 3 days there, 3 days here.
okay.
But sometimes she will not give her back when it's time to give her back,
Okay.
just to
All right.
cause problems, or
Cause
sometimes she
problems.
won't get her at all when it is her time.
Okay. So the court order, just so I know I got this right, the court order says every other week, and then the week that the parent does not have the child scheduled, you get her on that Wednesday night for an overnight.
Yes.
Okay. But you guys have kind of been doing a verbal where it's 3 nights, 3 nights, 3 nights, 3 nights. Like,
Yes.
So
We've
depict
I've fallen back on the court order sometimes just because she likes to play her games, and
Mm-hmm.
the verbal agreement just gets messy. So if you just stick to the court order, it's a
Okay.
little easier.
All
But
right. Want to talk a little bit about Catherine. What's the situation right now with you and Ariel and Catherine? What's that all about?
Well,
I mean, let me start this way. What is she claiming in regards to Catherine?
she's claiming it's mine.
Okay.
It's been quite a strange thing. Like,
Okay.
throughout her whole pregnancy, she really tried to kind of hide it.
Okay.
And even up to this day, she will outright tell people that I don't usually see or people I don't know that we are married and living together and we have another kid in common.
Okay.
Or one expected at that time.
Okay.
But then other people, she'll tell them the truth.
Okay.
And from talking to her mother and her friends and family, and actually seeing like stuff on Facebook that she's put in text messages and stuff, I guess there's 5 possible fathers, not counting me.
When Catherine was born, were you living around here?
Yes, I was living at the same address.
Okay. You weren't deployed any place or anything like that? Okay.
I want to say I was actually home on the week that she was born.
Okay. Do you know when Catherine was born? The date?
2/12 sounds right.
2/12 of what? Of 11?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure on the exact date, but it was that month.
It was close. Okay.
She didn't really ever bring it up to me. It's just what I've seen on the paperwork
Okay.
recently.
And so, since Catherine's birth, what has happened? Has there been any kind of legal things that are going on or anything like that? As far as whether or not you are the father or not the father?
Well, she'd always try to hide her when I'm over there, and she never really spoke about her with me, but
Okay.
then just suddenly I get this thing in the mail saying that, well, from the prosecuting attorney
Okay.
about how she's accusing me as father, but then when I talked to her, she said that she didn't, and they're just putting 2 and 2 together because we already have a kid in common, so.
Okay.
She's saying the prosecuting attorney just assumed it was me.
Okay. So she filed some paperwork.
She says it wasn't her that did it, but I don't believe that.
Okay. And that was for some type of, paternity test type
It
thing,
was
or?
come in, sign the paperwork, decline that you think it is, and
Okay.
opt for the paternity test.
Opt for the paternity. And did
Which-
you do that then?
I had to do that today at 12.
Okay.
Actually did it a little bit earlier than 12.
Okay. So you did have your paternity test today?
Yes.
Okay. Where did you have to go for that?
That was the laboratory in the hospital here in Huntington.
Did they give you any results of that or anything?
It was a mouth swab on both sides and then
They'll get back with you.
a lot of paperwork. I'm guessing I'll just get something in the mail.
Okay. All right.
I don't know if they actually do it there because the paperwork kind of said it was sent.
Send someplace for the testing part?
Right.
Okay. All right. So as far as you know, Catherine's not your child.
It's
Or at
not,
least you believe that
it's not impossible, but I find it hard to believe. It'd be quite a surprise to me.
Okay.
As luck would have it, that buccal swab, the one Shawn gave the very morning Kate disappeared, would eventually prove that he was indeed the father. But this custody situation was a mess in every direction, and Kate was caught right in the crossfire. According to some reports, Ariel had been browsing profiles of couples looking for families to adopt to, which Shawn used to justify that she didn't want Kate either, though Ariel went on to vehemently deny this. Now, with his frustration well established, detectives move on to the thing that matters most, his story for the day Kate vanished.
What I'm going to do, Shawn, is I'd like to kind of just take you through your day today. And if you could just kind of start out this morning and just kind of tell me from the time that you got up, kind of what the events were of your day. If you could do that for me.
She didn't give her back all week, so then we fought with her yesterday.
Let me stop you real quick.
Yes.
What I would like for you to do is be as descriptive as possible for me too when you say, well, she didn't give me back. I mean, tell me who it was that you're talking about. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
So I had a party for the military this week. I came back, I was supposed to get her. Well, she called me wanting me to come pick up.
Okay.
And came all the way over there and she did not give her to me.
Okay.
Then the following day was my day to get her back, and she would not give her to me.
Okay.
And so we've just been fighting all week. All kinds of threats of going back to court and
Okay.
her threatening to run away with her and
Okay.
fighting over the 4th of July because last year I was supposed to have 4th of July because I was actually scheduled to deploy. They've just changed the date 3 times and set it back.
Okay.
And so she showed up with the police just because she knew that we had family there.
Uh-huh.
So she jumps on any opportunity to make a scene.
Right.
So then she was giving her a hug, but then when she had her in her arms, the officer couldn't physically remove her, so she just jumped in the car and left. She was supposedly just giving her a hug goodbye. And
that was
now,
last 4th of July?
yes, last 4th of July. And then next 4th of July, I'm not going to be around, so
So you
by
wanted her,
all means,
you wanted her this 4th of July?
yes, by all means, it is my duty to have her.
Okay. All right.
But she was quite angry about that and trying to get her
So
back.
that's stuff that's been going on previously before today? Stuff that's been going on this week? Okay.
And then last night we got into a fight. That's when I actually got her back finally.
Okay.
So I got home, was quite upset, drank a little bit.
Okay.
Went to bed pretty late, woke up this morning. Took a shower, then she was calling, wanting me to come in well, first she was calling just to fight and argue. Then she called again and I answered because I think it was from a different number because if I'm not answering the phone, she'll just call from some number I don't recognize.
Okay. And was she calling you on that, is that the number she was calling you on?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
She wanted me to come in about some paperwork or something or other for enrollment in school.
Okay.
Second time this has come up, but nothing came of it when I actually was there. But I spent probably a couple hours just ranting about all the nonsense and games she's been playing all week to my mother, and set up a sprinkler outside and just kind of was around the house all morning. Then probably around 11 or a little after 11 to 11:30 I left to go to that appointment at the hospital for testing.
Okay.
I got to get through that a little bit earlier than the scheduled time, so then I headed over to her apartment to do the supposed paperwork or whatever it was, but
Okay.
within a minute of walking in the door it was just fighting and arguing.
Okay.
And she had this morning said that she was gonna, somehow she knew that I was supposed to be gone today for this. And she said she would have the cops out of my house to get, even though it's not, by our agreement, it's not her time to have her.
Okay.
And also by the actual court order, because I have it marked on the calendar, the court order dates.
Okay. All right.
So told my mom she's probably gonna be coming out here just to cause a problem, just because she knows we have guests at the house right now.
Okay.
So
So so you
Jumping around,
let me just
sorry.
help me to understand you leave your house and you go to the hospital and get your test done. And
Yes.
then you go over to Ariel's apartment.
Yes.
What happens once you're there and what happens after that?
we argued and fought, I want to say for an hour or more.
Okay.
Got a bit more escalated than usual. And not physical, of course, but just
Right.
quite a few threats. It's not uncommon for her to threaten to run away with Haley next time she has her or something. But
Right.
just, I've already informed her that I'm going back to court over this.
Okay.
This was probably earlier this week.
Okay.
So it's just more court threats. We argued and argued. Then she's saying that she has to go somewhere.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, what about this paperwork? And then all of a sudden it wasn't paperwork. It was just having to go somewhere and fill out something.
Right.
I have no idea what it was about.
Okay.
It's probably not even true, really.
Okay.
So then I go to leave. We're kind of arguing all the way out. And I get in my car and I start to back up, and she opens the door and starts putting Catherine in the car. And I was like, well, what are you doing? And she's like, well, what do you mean, what am I doing? And then she just expected me to take her to the DHS. I drive her over to the DHS. She tries to stop me, told me to stop like by the hospital. I'm like, well, why the hospital? And so then I keep driving to the DHS. We're still arguing, just pause briefly from the argument for that.
Mm-hmm.
And we get there, she isn't getting out, she's just sitting there and arguing. I was like, I'd like to get home. So then she wants me to drive her somewhere else.
Mhm.
And I told her I'm not your damn taxi service. So then we argue some more. She ends up getting back in the car.
Uh-huh.
We sit there and argue some more. And then I ultimately drive her to the hospital like she wanted, then she doesn't get out.
Okay.
Earlier, I was kind of hazy. We were just fighting so much that I couldn't remember how many trips back and forth between where we did, but it was just kind of bouncing back and forth between her apartment, DHS, and the hospital. And I'm pretty sure at that point, when we were at the hospital, she just asked to be dropped off at her house, or her apartment, so I take her back there. We argue some more, then she gets out.
Okay.
And
Where's Catherine at this point?
well, she gets out, but then she just walks off, and she doesn't go to her apartment door. She goes to some like side door or something, I think.
Okay.
And she comes back, and we argue. Then I left. When I got home, my mom and my daughter were in the doorway, and she said that the police had been there, and this whole thing. And she gave me the card to call the officer. Can't recall his name, but
Okay.
so then about 20 minutes after I got home probably was when I called.
All right. And the officers came out.
They said they'll be there in 10 minutes. It was more like about half hour maybe.
Let's quickly run back Shawn's version of June 29th. According to him, he wakes up at his parents' place, then heads to the hospital at 11:30 for a court-ordered DNA swab, then drives to Ariel's apartment over some school paperwork, and instead, the two spend the next hour at war, fighting, arguing, and going at each other. Ariel loads Kate into his car and demands a ride to DHS so she can hand her over for adoption, then refuses to get out once they arrive. So Shawn ferries her back and forth, apartment, DHS, hospital, arguing the entire time, until he finally drops the two back home. So in his story, the last time he ever saw Kate, she was safe in her mother's arms. There's just one massive problem with that story: Kate's belongings. When officers first walked up to Shawn at his parents' place that afternoon, he told them 3 separate times that the baby was with her mother. And when one officer asked if he was telling the whole truth, his answer was, quote, "You're right, I'm not telling you the whole truth." So they patted him down, and in the cargo pocket of the shorts he'd been wearing all day, officers found Kate's clothing, the one that she had worn that morning, balled up inside her dad's pocket. And it doesn't stop there. In the trunk of his car was Kate's empty car seat, her bag, bottle, and even Ariel's wallet. If Shawn had really dropped Kate off at that apartment, he would have handed at least something off to Ariel. Which leaves officers with a 2-hour window, somewhere between 1 p.m. when Shawn drove off with Kate and 3 p.m. when he showed back up at his parents' place without her.
So would it be a fair statement? Would it be a fair statement then that if this was Catherine's, this would definitely be a financial burden for you and a time commitment burden?
Yes.
I mean, having another child. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason why I ask you that is I'm just trying to get a feeling for, where you're at here. And I understand that, I mean, I've raised children myself. Okay. I have 3 children. Okay. 2 of them are grown up. Okay. And I got a young one at home still. And, parenting is not easy. Yeah. I think parenting is probably one of the toughest things I've ever had to do in my life. And I have a pretty tough job. You know, you have a tough job being in the military. I understand that. It can be stressful, especially under the circumstances of you know that you're going to be deployed, knowing that you have a child here that you love and care for, and that you need to provide for that child, in the sense of when you know. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but as a father of my own children, I feel a huge responsibility to my children. Is that how you feel? I mean, not only just being able to provide for them material things that they absolutely need, you know, I mean, food, shelter, clothing, that kind of stuff. But it's just the mere responsibility of having a child. And it changes your life, doesn't it?
Oh,
It did for me, I guess. You know, I mean, it changed my life in a heartbeat, okay? When I got my children. And, you know, it can be, for me, I'm just looking back on what I felt. It's a huge responsibility. And it never goes away.
Right.
It's not like a job where I go and I put my 8 hours in, stamping parts, doing whatever I'm doing, okay? And I go home and I'm done. The child is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year, you know? And so, you know, I understand that. I'm very, very concerned about Catherine, okay? And do you know where Catherine is at?
usually Ariel's been known to play quite strange games like this, or well, not like this. This is by far the farthest anything's ever gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually just been like hiding it from me, like with someone she knows, or not giving her back, or I think she even once sold me her phone and then reported stolen around the time that we were about to go into court. So
Right.
just
Well,
trying to get some.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I can understand, you know, I understand all that, Shawn. I understand, you know, with these types of relationships, little games get played. You know, games like taking somebody's cell phone or, you know, those kinds of things. I totally understand that. But we got a lot different situation here right now. We're talking about a human being.
Yes.
We're talking about a 5-month-old girl that cannot care for herself. Okay? She cannot care for herself. She needs somebody to care for her. Okay? That takes it to a whole nother level. Okay? A whole nother level. I'm not talking about the little shenanigans of taking your phone, doing that kind of stuff. Okay? This is over the top. Okay? All right? This is some serious stuff. Okay? All right? Do you know where Catherine is right now?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. All right. When was the last time that you saw Catherine?
I'm not sure on the time, really, probably.
Okay. Give me a situation then where you last saw Catherine.
It was probably around 2 when I finally left from her apartment.
Okay. So the last time you saw Catherine was when you were at whose apartment?
Ariel's apartment.
Okay. And you believe that was around 2:00?
That would be my best guess, yes.
Okay. And where was Catherine at when you last saw her?
In the car seat behind me.
Car seat behind you. Okay. All right. You didn't see where she went from there?
Into her apartment.
And who took her into the apartment?
Ariel did.
And did she say anything to you about that, Ariel? When she left, when she parted ways, what was her last comment?
I think we were still arguing. She wanted me to stay there for a minute and so we could argue some more, work things out supposedly. And I said, no, I'm leaving. And it was still about the 4th of July thing, and then as I was leaving or shutting my door and leaving, she says, well, I'll see you in court then. And I don't remember exact words, but just like she's gonna ruin me in court or something.
Okay.
She's convinced that.
I want to take you back to, before you go back to Ariel's apartment. Was there a conversation that you had with Ariel about her not taking the paternity test?
No,
There was no conversation like that?
I had already taken it.
No, for her to take the paternity test.
What do you mean?
Did you tell Ariel that you didn't want her to take the paternity test?
Not today.
Financially, Shawn really was in a hole. He'd been laid off for a while, and his last real work was temporary shifts through manpower at 3 different Ludington factories. But nothing, not even financial to spare, can justify the kind of attitude he showed Kate. And right now, it's finally time to confront him with all of it.
I mean, you didn't, number one, you didn't feel like Catherine was your child.
Yes.
Is that correct? And number two, you're going to take a paternity test to find out one way or the other, right?
Right.
And you really don't want to be the father of Catherine. I mean, if you are, you are. But
Yes.
deep down, be honest with me right now. Deep down, you really don't want this child to be yours.
To be honest, yes.
Okay, all right.
I'm young, I already have plenty of
But,
responsibility.
and along with that, there's a fear, right, that this child is yours. Now, just be honest with me, because, I mean, that's just being honest. I mean, I know for a fact, if I put myself in your shoes, you know, I'd be fearful too, because it's another big responsibility to have another child that I have to be responsible for.
It's quite a lot to think about.
That with this woman, like Ariel, okay, who has given me nothing but problems with my first child that I've had with her, now I'm going to have 2 children with her, okay? There's got to be a little bit of fear there, I would say.
Right.
And is that fair to say?
Yes.
Okay. And so my question to you then, back to you is, why wouldn't you support that of adoption if that was something that she was going to do?
Support that.
Okay.
But I even drove her all the way to Grand Rapids like soon after her birth.
But
twice.
today you weren't supportive of it, right?
Well, there's actually been a ridiculous amount of times when I've been over there to pick up and she
Okay, I'm not talking about
No,
right now.
I'm just getting to a shoe. There's
All right.
been many instances where I've waited around, or driven her places for this purpose, like the adoption.
Mhm.
And somehow over she probably has close to 80 attempts that she's claiming, and I've been a part of
Right.
quite a few.
Right.
And
This is what I think, okay, Shawn? This is what I think. And then I want you to just be quiet and just listen to what I got to say, okay? Number one, I want to try to help you, Shawn, okay? I want to try to help you, all right? In order for you to be helped, okay, I've got to have some information, okay? And some of the things I think that you've been talking about here on some of these last couple questions that I have. I don't know that you've been totally honest with me about your feelings about this thing, okay? I need to know where you're coming from here, okay? Because outwardly, you're showing me that you don't have very much compassion for not only Ariel, but Catherine, because you don't want to be bound up with this another child, especially with Ariel, okay? I understand that, okay? Everything that you've told me about the nightmares that you've had with in all these things, okay? You feel like you're getting painted back into a corner again with her, okay? And I understand that, okay? I really do, because I see this happening all the time, okay? I've been doing this job for 20 years, all right? And I've seen where females, okay, are boxing guys in the corners, okay, with children and all that kind of stuff. I understand that, okay? I do, because I've seen it happen, okay? Women, okay, when they want something and they want it bad enough, they'll go to whatever lengths it is to make those things happen. And I believe that Ariel wants you, okay? And she wants to stay close to you, and she wants to keep you under her thumb, whatever you want to call it, spell, whatever it is, okay? And she's willing to go to whatever lengths it is, you don't get pregnant and all this kind of stuff, okay? Now, for you, that's upsetting, okay? I mean, granted, if Catherine's your kid, so be it. But you don't believe that that's the case, okay? I believe that today there was an argument that went about where you were trying to persuade her, okay, to do the adoption. Because I believe that that's what's best. And I think that you know that's what's best for Catherine. If it's my kid or not my kid, I mean, there's got to be a little bit of inkling there of compassion for Catherine, what Catherine's going to have to go through. Because you're already seeing it,
Yes.
right? I mean, you're already seeing having to go through this pulling and tugging going on, okay? That obviously upsets you because you've spent majority of our time together here today talking about the effects that it's made on you. Maybe not in direct form, but everything you said, what I've got from it is that the whole relationship between you and Ariel involving has been a struggle at best, okay? And now there's a possibility of another child going into this whole thing, okay? You've been painted into a corner with this whole thing, getting the paperwork from the prosecutor's office, okay? Let's just go to DHS. Let's make it right for Catherine, okay? Let's make it right for Catherine. Let's put Catherine in a place where we know that she's going to be taken care of, okay? And somebody good's going to be able to raise her, and we're not going to have all this turmoil. I understand that. And I think that's what happened today, okay? That's my belief what happened. I don't know why you don't want to tell me that.
Tragically, detectives would eventually piece together what happened to Kate, just not in the way anyone hoped, because Kate's body has never been found. What they got instead was a 5-page letter Shawn wrote to Ariel from prison, one that was stolen from her purse and leaked to the press before it ever reached her. In it, Shawn claimed Kate's death was an accident, that he held her for a long time afterward, and that he left her in a peaceful place, which left detectives with exactly one piece of evidence that could help them find said peaceful place: the mud on Shawn's shoes. A local detective taught himself forensic botany, and inside that dried mud, scientists found a mix of mosses so rare that it worked like a biological geotag, narrowing Kate's likely resting place from 7 counties down to 50 square feet of swamp, not far from the Phillips family home. Unfortunately, although Kate was never found there, many believe that it was her final resting place.
I think that there was an argument that went on about you wanting to just, hey, let's go to DHS and let's do the right thing for Catherine. Let's do the right thing right now, today, for Catherine. And that's why you didn't want her to go take her paternity test, okay? I mean, you had already taken yours, but there's no sense in you going and taking your paternity test. Let's just go do the right thing. And the right thing right now for everybody involved, that being Ariel, yourself, and certainly Catherine, okay, was let's see about an adoption. And, you know, because this is the thing, that's the information I'm getting, okay? And you know what? It makes sense to me. But this is the thing, Shawn. What happens is Ariel's being Ariel once again. Ariel's being that stubborn, okay, that, yep, I have a child with, okay, but by gosh, she's just not doing anything, okay? She's not going to be a parent to this child. I'm going to get freaking stuck with this thing again and everything else. And it pissed you off, okay? Just like she's been pissing you off basically ever since you've been born. She's done nothing but try to get in your way of your relationship. She's done nothing to foster any kind of relationship between the two of you to make this smooth between you and him. And here now we got Catherine, okay, of another 5-month-old baby, okay, and she's trying to strap you with it.
Now, this is nothing more than a tactic to pull a confession out of Shawn. By all accounts, Ariel was fighting for Kate that day. She was on the phone with 911 within minutes and showed up frantic at the DHS office less than half an hour later.
I got people that'll tell me all over inside that apartment complex that you guys were arguing and raising hell. Okay? But you know what? That's understandable because you're dealing with a freaking psycho. Okay? Just hear me out. Okay? Just hear me out. All right? I don't want you to say anything right now. Just hear what I got to say. Once again, I'm right here sitting with Ariel, arguing over the same shit that I've been arguing with her about for the last 3 years of my life, probably before they even were born, okay? The same shit, okay? And you got pissed. I don't blame you. You got madder than hell. I know you did. I know you were pissed, okay? And you know what? I would be too. Because here I am trying to deal with somebody that's not even reasonable. Not even reasonable. I mean, I can't even talk to this freaking woman. Okay? And now I'm going to be possibly strapped with having another child with her. Okay? And I've already got a bag full of nightmares, okay, in dealing with her. And I can see this is going right down the same road again. Right? I'm going right down the same damn road with her. You know what? I don't want to do it. And you were pissed. And you were angry. And you were mad. Okay? And when you left that apartment, you left with Catherine. Okay? You left with Catherine. Because you know what? Piss on you. Piss on you, Ariel. Okay? I'm out of here. And you had Catherine with you. The question now is, though, is are we going to do the right thing? And the right thing is for Catherine. Let's forget everybody else. Let's forget Ariel. Let's forget you. Let's forget everybody else. Okay? Catherine is the innocent one here today. She can't speak for herself. She can't talk for herself. She can't defend herself. She can do nothing. Okay? And you took her somewhere because you were pissed. And I understand that. I understand you were pissed. Okay? I would be too. If we can salvage something right now, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay? Let's salvage something right now. Okay? Because if you go down this road, I'm going to tell you right now, I've worked in this system for 20 years, Shawn. It ain't going to be good for you. You drove out of that parking lot with Catherine in the back of your car. and you know where Catherine is. Okay? All the evidence points that you had Catherine in that car. Her clothing is in the pocket of your car, of your pants that she had on today. Okay? Where is Catherine? Where is Catherine at, Shawn?
I believe I want an attorney at this point.
Okay. Stay right there.
In April of 2012, with Kate still missing, a jury convicted Shawn Phillips of unlawful imprisonment for taking his daughter and simply never bringing her back. The judge went far beyond the sentencing guidelines and handed him 10 to 15 years. Eventually, though, he was charged with murder, even without a body. In 2014, a judge actually threw the charge out, ruling the state couldn't even prove Kate was dead, but the higher courts disagreed. After a 3-week trial built entirely on circumstantial evidence, a jury found Shawn Phillips guilty of second-degree murder, as he was sentenced to 19 to 45 years. We hope you enjoyed today's video. 85% of our viewers aren't subscribed, so if this is the kind of content you come back for, just hit subscribe. It's the single biggest thing you can do to support the channel. If you want to keep watching more, check out one of the most intense cases we've ever covered right here, or catch up on our latest upload right here.